what other shows do you want to talk about next? Like, there's a lot of stuff. We have a lot of comedies. I mean, it's a lot of silly things. I noticed that in Ushio and Tora, it's like kind of a shonen, not really sci-fi, more so of supernatural comedy. And I reviewed that one. I gave it an 8.7 because it was awesome. So we have this kid, Ushio, and he's son to a priest at a shrine, and so they live in the shrine. His dad goes on and on about them how they've had to protect the spear for like 500 years, and the shrine's important. Spear. Yeah, and then there's demons everywhere, and he's like, Dad, how old are you? He's like, oh, I'm like 49. He's like, well, then why are you still talking about monsters? He's like, you're an idiot. And they like fight, and it's just like really like silly, and obviously they have like a very funny relationship where they don't really agree on a lot of things, and they just like kind of fight it out, duke it out. It's like really good. But this kid, you know, he's obviously just like growing up. It seems kind of like one of the class clown kids for sure. Yeah. Like he's just very silly, but he's also super athletic.
Yeah, like one of the girls, like he was really serious because there was the whole demon thing, and she's like, when have I ever seen you serious? So I thought that implied that he was kind of like the typical class clown kind of kid.
Yeah, and everyone seems to like him. Like there was like a cool little soccer game, and he was freaking
amazing at soccer, and he was like, I don't want to play soccer, I want to draw.
Yeah. So he's just kind of like a quirky kid. Yeah, like he's kind of likable protagonist, and he has crazy eyebrows, so that's fine.
Wild eyebrows.
Before we get back into like the plot of it all, the 90s feels are so good. Yes. Of course, it's based on a 90s manga. Yeah. And the studios like Mappa and Studio Vaughn, who are, animating it and taking care of the show, did like a fantastic job of capturing it. Like even like the opening and ending. I got that feel
immediately, especially with his like the character design. Yeah. There was something about his eyes where I was like, this is just giving me 90s feels right now. So.
And they stuck to the character design from the manga as opposed to just redoing it to make it modern. It looks so good and so clean.
Yeah, I really liked that.
Yeah. So, and like I said, like the music is just like spot on. I was just like, I'm a kid again.
I had the same feeling.
Yeah, it was just like a really funny show. But kind of back to the plot. This is a kind of like, it's called Ushio and Tora, and if you know who Tora is, it's like a demon cat thing.
I think Tora just means tiger.
Yeah, so which is why they call him.
He looks
Tora.
like a tiger.
Yeah,
but like super like swole.
Right. Yeah. And
super buff tiger. Yeah, a really built tiger.
Yeah, and so
scary.
In this episode, this is where they meet, and it's like the title, so it's like not surprising what happens. Like obviously he's gonna meet up, but their meeting is awesome. It's super well done. So one thing I really praised in this episode was that they have like a really good control of the tone. Obviously it's very silly. Like you start off with Ushio and his dad fighting, and it's just like really silly. And like the neighbors like, oh, they're at it again. Kind of just like
them.
And then him just like wanting to, kind of know more and just toy with his dad, and like they argue and it's funny. And then his dad assigns him to go clean out their storehouse. And then while he's in there, he slips on a door that leads down to a secret cellar kind of thing. And that's where he finds Tora. And up until that point, it's like just been very silly, it's kind of cool. And then it gets like just like super serious and kind of creepy.
Yeah.
And
it's like, you're a human.
Yeah, like the first time he sees Tora, it's just like super creepy, and it's like so good.
It was awesome.
But then like 2 seconds later, it's super hilarious again. Yeah. And it's just like a really good, vibe, and like it's just like a good flip too. Like it didn't feel like overdone.
Yeah, I think they did a good job balancing the silliness with the seriousness. Like when Tora says something silly, like his animation changes, and he gets like this like silly, like I can't explain it, but he gets that kind of like anime silliness kind of animation versus his serious animation where he has all these teeth and he's like grinning evilly.
Yeah, and he looks a little bit more cute. Like his eyes get like really,
his eyes get
like
big
really round and cute, and then it looks like a little more like a cat.
But they kind of it's not jarring, like it's not a jarring switch. I thought it was balanced well.
Yeah, so when they meet, Ushio figures out that spear has been pinning Tora there for like 500 years, by one of Ushio's ancestors, and
samurai.
Yeah, and so Tora's like, "Hey, let me out." He's like, why?
Why would I do that?
What are you gonna do? He doesn't even get an answer as to why he should let him out. But he's like, Tora's like, I can only be let out by human, so you need to let me out. And he's like, well, what are you going to do when you get out? He's like, well, I'm going to eat you and like rain hell over the earth again, duh, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, then Ushio like runs up and starts like jabbing the spear further into Tora. And he's like, what the heck? And it's like, who would let you out after that?
Yeah.
And then so, yeah, Ushio ends up leaving, going to school and talking to his friends. And then his friend, one of his lady friends, needs to come back and get a notebook from him. So she stops
She's
by
super
his house.
like tsundere for him too. Like
Yeah.
it's cute.
Yeah, like the two friends he has, like obviously like head over heels for him.
Yeah.
And it's fine. Like it's cute. It's like it's not done like a weird.
Yeah, it's not in a dumb way where we were like,
Pyramid.
oh, you know, just like otaku kind of fantasy where of course these girls are in love with him. He's actually a likable
Yeah,
protagonist.
he
so it
is.
works.
Like that's what I was saying. He's actually interesting and he's kind of cool. So I could see, you're his friend.
He's like super good at soccer, but he doesn't want the glory of playing soccer. He just likes drawing, but he's not very
Yeah.
good at it. And his friend made fun of him, but he doesn't care.
Yeah,
He's likable.
Yeah, and so they go to visit, and Ushio is struggling with knowing that the spear is down there, and with Tora, and he's like, "Whoa, why is this there?" Like, of course, his dad had just left on a trip, so he's just like, "Well, of course, now I can't talk to my dad about it,"
Convenient.
Yeah, and so then his friends come over, and then he notices demons. Like, there's these like weird,
They're like
bug
bug
and
kinda-
fish demons.
Yeah. But they're like
which is weird.
translucent, and only
Yeah.
he can see them at first.
Yeah.
And so he's kind of like grasping at them, and the girls are like, "What's wrong
It's
with
like,
you?
what the heck? Yeah. And
You're
so-
being weird."
Right, so then he runs down to Tora. He's like, what the heck is happening? What did you do to me? And he's like, oh, by the way, when you open those doors, you let out my
Demon aura.
Yeah. And he's like, what? He's like, oh, it's been brewing for 500 years, and now all these little lesser demons are coming because they're attracted to my aura.
Yeah. Haha. Like,
Yeah, and then of course the girls start screaming because he's like, haha, now they're starting to, gain their form. They'll gain more power, like these lesser demons, and they'll start attacking people. And so Ushio's like, why? Of course. And so then he has like no choice but to let out Tora because he has to use the demon spirit to kill him. And also Tora said that he would help. If you release me, I'll help you take care of him, kind of thing.
Yeah,
But
like
how
in a
does
moment
he
of
know?
desperation.
Right.
Well, yeah,
He's
like
trying to keep his word.
Yeah, there was a point where he's like, I'm still gonna eat you if you let me free, and
Yeah.
Ushio's like, okay, really, I'm not gonna do that then. And then finally he gets desperate, and
Yeah, Tora's like,
basically the spear has
begging.
like special powers that like grants the human holder, like wielder, like more
beast power.
beast power. Yeah, it's like
you become
beast
one with the
mode.
spirit. Yeah, so
Yeah.
you become a sort of beast form that helps you slay the demons. So
Yeah.
Ushio lets Tora out, and of course Tora goes immediately to kill Ushio. He's like, "What the heck? You promised?" He's like, "Oh, I'm a demon. Haha. Why would I promise to you?"
Yeah.
And of course, like you said, like why would you trust
Why
him?
would you
I mean,
believe
have no
the
reason
demon?
to. Right. And so then Ushio gets really angry, and with a very can we just talk about how satisfying the spear sounds are? Ugh, the sound design in the show is so good.
Yeah, I really like the
it
sounds.
clinks down, and it's just like the best clink. It sounds
Yeah.
really dumb, but it's just so satisfying.
I assume it ends with Ushio and Tora.
Fighting together,
They're
side by
They're
side.
like just buds, ultimate like instant buds. I
Yeah.
loved it.
Or at
Yeah,
least,
so-
at least he
Like, this
didn't
is
get
cute.
eaten.
Yeah. So Ushio gets the power from the spear, and then Tora's freaking out all crazy. He's like, "Oh no, it's like just like last time." And he's like, "Okay, fine, I'll help you. And so he helps clear out the bugs, and it's a really short fight. Like I kind of wanted to see more of the beast spear form.
I'm sure we
I
will
was
in the
like, I
coming
want more.
episodes. But
Yeah,
and
of
he gets like
course.
this long, like glorious mane of hair.
Yeah,
When he has the
Ushio's-
spear, like he just grows hair magically.
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it was a,
Samurai spirit.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, it was
His
a real-
ancestor.
yeah,
because it kind of takes on that thing, and then it fades whenever he
yeah.
fades out of the form. But it was really great, and of course they end up as not really friends, but some more as
Grudging allies.
Yeah.
It's like you need to stay
frenemies.
here because there might be more demons, and then Tora's so Tora has to stay, but Ushio's like, also if you leave, I'll just spear you again.
Spear you,
So
yeah.
you can't really go.
So basically using him as like the center point to draw like what he's gonna draw.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
since that aura is already there, he needs him to stay to help him clear out any more demons that come. And so the episode ends, and it looks like it's just gonna be a super fun show.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Like from the really long hair to the cute like we don't really like each other but we're allies now like
Yeah.
vibe. I really liked all of that. I thought I
also
enjoyed it.
really enjoyed that they're constantly underestimating each other. So Ushio underestimates Tora's power, and Tora underestimates Ushio and like what power he has to like keep back Tora, and like he assumes, oh, you're just a stupid human, you know, kind of thing. I can kill you with one swipe. I'll just eat you. It's fine. And I think that's kind of a theme that's going to carry through and probably will be kind of cool. So
very cool. We have 7 more
anime
to get through.
True. Got excited.
This is like one of the best ones. So.
Yeah.
No,
We'll get
it's
through
very
as many
good.
as we can. There's always next week.
Yes, that is true.